next match is when figuratively All In began.
Okay. Yeah, the tag match.
So we get Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. If Swerve and Will do not win, they cannot challenge for the belt for a year. The Young Bucks, if they do not win, they will lose their EVP titles. Now these entrances, which for both sides, were long but fun and amazing all at the same time. I'll start with the Ospreay one. So this Ospreay shit, this man actually became an assassin of Creed. He actually, there was ninjas there. There was, the video and all that. And I thought it was pretty cool. Like, the crowd was going nuts for Elevated. I thought it was sensational. It was long, but hey, this is the show to do the long shit on.
Yeah.
After that,
yeah. So I thought it was a great interest as well.
Yeah, after
I
that,
thought it was a great interest as well, but I don't have anything to add.
After that, we had Swerve's entrance, and so I think what happened here was like, so this was JoJo Offerman was out there, and I could kind of tell, I could see the curly hair somehow from way back there. I was like, oh, okay, that's JoJo, and then I realized what was happening like a lot sooner than everyone in our section did. I was like, she's singing "Ain't Nobody." Like I can hear like the kind of remade live version that they went with, and I was like surprised, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, a lot of people felt like they didn't know what was happening or whatever. So like there were some of us that were going crazy for the "Ain't Nobody" thing, and we were singing it, and it was like, we was like, fuck it, if y'all don't know what's going on, we know what's going on. This shit is hard. I do think if they went with the actual song, it may have gone better, but I don't know if that has to do with clearances, with anything like that. But I'm going to say this. If you can clear Final Countdown for Bryan Danielson, if this was the case, I don't know, right? If you can clear Final Countdown for Bryan Danielson for use over and over and over and over as many times as they did, you should be able to do the same thing for Swerve Strickland. I don't know anything. I'm just saying. But as far as like if this was an intentional choice, it was. Swerve and JoJo have collaborated musically. I believe she's gonna be on his new album on a track I produced. So this is not as random as it seems, but I thought this was really fucking cool. And then it drops into Swerve's regular theme. Super gear for both Swerve and Will. All the gold stuff. Like this shit was incredible.
Yeah. Now, you said for people that did know the song. So we were talking to Trish after the show, and basically what it comes down to, Black people knew the song, and British people knew the song.
Yes.
But the whites were confused.
They didn't know what was going on.
Like, what is this? Yeah.
It's just a reminder of how long it's been and how his current theme now is most associated with him.
And Trish mentioned, and I think me and Trish came to the conclusion, like, next year if he go, next year in London for All In, he should use that again. He should use the "Ain't Nobody" again, and so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun whenever he decides to deploy that again, in whatever situation. But like he has that there, and they can't ever take that one away from him. They actually got that played.
Yep. Then the Young Bucks came out. They do their regular entrance, and then they walk over to the side, and their music stops, and then they go back to the thing that was playing at Double or Nothing, which was like the Founding Fathers kind of drummer boy drums or whatever. And there's this long ass
ass shit. Like, get out of here.
They get in this fucking boat. We're like, are they getting in a fucking boat? Like, what are they doing? And then they start playing like this voiceover of like just all this shit they're saying, and it's like a response to everyone. They're sailing around the stadium, and it was just, they were talking so much cash shit. It was fucking hilarious. Like, this is like, yo, man, there will never be a tag team better than the Bucks. Ever. Like, and if there is, I'm be old and gray by the time we see them. So it's like, yeah, dog. Like, these niggas came out here, talked so much shit, then they walked their ass to the ring through the crowd, and then they proceeded to have this match with Swerve and Will, it was like they started kind of slow at first, and the night before or 2 days before, no, the night before, I caught Swerve like we were talking, before the show. He assured me they would have the match of the night, and I don't think he was wrong personally. Like this was my favorite match for sure.
That that was the best. I mean, that was the best worked match of the night. Yeah,
Yeah, like
that was.
there was he like I know I had talked to him leading up to it, and he told me so much of stuff was laid out, but then I spoke to him after the show, and he was like, yeah man, we even added more that same day or whatever, and you work with the Bucks, you're always going to get enough time to do your thing. There is this specific sequence in the middle of the show.
Bucks and the EVP titles backstage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a specific sequence in the middle of this match where they literally just decided to press a button and just turn the fucking stadium all the way up, and it was just like everybody was waiting for something. I can assure you, the crowd on TV probably did not sound quiet then, because that shit went. It was like the first real super reaction of the night.
So I saw the clip of it, Rich, and they're moving faster in the clip than like they're moving in the stadium.
Yes,
It was incredible. It was incredible. Like when they broke into the 4-way and they both ended with like they both eat super cakes or no, they both take Canadian destroyers and then they both no soul and they both hit either the last call or the house call or the hidden blade. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, this was like such high level tag work. I think the only tag match in AEW history probably that competes with this is Kenny and Hangman versus the Bucks. I thought it was that fucking good and special.
You mean 2v2?
Yeah.
Like regular rules?
Yeah. I know some people would talk about FTR and Jay White, Juice Robinson. I think there's a whole nother level, Jack. Sorry.
This is I mean it's a 5-star match. I don't know. I have to go through it, but yeah, the only one that immediately comes to mind would be that one. Like, there's been some Bucks and FTR matches that were fucking awesome. I know people like that first FTR and Bucks match way more than we do. But yeah,
Bucks got a stadium classic finally. I thought the finish for me was a shock because I the way the storyline kind of set up, at least in the later parts.
There's more interesting, compelling things as far as like how do Swerve and Swerve and Ospreay, how do they survive, or do they survive? Do they break up as a friend? Like how does that turn either one of them, in the year where they can't be champions or they can't challenge for the title? Like that would have been very, very interesting. I thought that's why they were going to do it.
Then I thought about it. I was like, well, this whole thing's set up with the Bucks fucking Swerve in the beginning. So, like, this had to end with Swerve pinning, the Bucks, essentially. And that's what happened. So, the Bucks lose their EVP titles or whatever. We'll see what that means for them if they strip back that aspect of whatever they're doing. But they'll figure, whatever the fuck out. But this was a celebration of Swerve and Will Ospreay. It was like, all right, you guys aren't the ones in the main event, but it's like the Bucks are like the next best thing, like almost for both of these guys. They just like put together a match that was so athletic, so spectacular, and I think just compelling right down to the very end, because it could have went either way. I think most people were anticipating it to go the other way by the time the day came,
because they had good stakes for both.
Yeah,
you have good stakes where it's like one's not like you could have been like it's a coin flip either way. It was well done.
Yeah, and then the Swerve and Will relationship can grow here because now they have like a major, positive aspect to their relationship to make it to where if there's ever like some type of fallout with them or a turn or competition, for the main belt, like they will have successes to play on, not only failure or whatever, which can be have a lot of different layers in itself. And they're not locked out of the title picture in case, Lord forbid, someone gets hurt or they got to put someone in there, or it maintains the flexibility. So I get it on that side, but that 1 year storyline with them both banned, I tell you, that would have been, I would have, like, there's an alternate timeline, right, of that being just some of the most incredible shit, I think, and I would trust them to figure it out.
hmm I think you're right. I think this is also incredible because like this is Will Ospreay's baby, as far as like this whole night, right? Like him being the moral compass that gets to the end in the final, you know, final of the night is like for those that don't love Will Ospreay the way they love Swerve Strickland or Hangman Page, like I think you got to start looking at it as like why are you not putting him there yet as far as the storyteller of the character because the what he had to do was like I got to go out there and I got to put over and help redeem Adam Page. He has obviously Adam Page has to do the work himself. He did that, but it's like I got to be the conduit for it. I got to be the conduit for getting to a place to where Page and Swerve is not an on-site fight thing. It's a forget we've apologized in our own man tough ways of saying we regret what we've done to each other. Right? It gets to the point now to where like because of Ospreay in Swerve's relationship, Swerve is officially a babyface. Before he was a tweener that's hanging out with babyface or hanging out with baby faces. He still has an edge to him, all that kind of stuff. Now he's a full-on babyface, and he's gonna still keep his edge because he's Swerve, and he's good enough to still do that. You remember he'll go nuts and all that kind of stuff. But like to get him all the way over that arc to he's actually a good guy. He's one of us. To for Hangman Page to like find himself after he screwed over, you know, Dark Order, beat the hell out of and retired Christopher Daniels, go through all that stuff to the other end and be like, I'm fighting for something greater than myself, and while fighting for something greater than myself, I find myself along the way. Like Ospreay had to be the conduit for all that stuff, and I don't think he's getting enough credit for it yet.
Mm.
So yeah, I thought this was tremendous. Um, and like I kind of wasted what I was going to say during the main event, but like we're talking about Ospreay now, so it's like, yeah, man, he's special. Like as a character, forget just the wrestling. He's special as a character.
Up next, we got the Casino Women's Gauntlet, and we got the return
Oh,
of
I forgot. One just thing.
yeah,
The example that he's used in the match, they were because obviously there's a point in this match or earlier during the build where like or during I forgot what match it was where the Young Bucks end up they were going to super kick Swerve with
yes, they switched it.
a with a loaded up, tacked up, thumbtacked up shoe, and then Ospreay bit the bullet for him earlier. And then in this match, you see the progression of where Swerve is now wanting to sacrifice himself for Ospreay because him and Ospreay have grown that close to where Swerve can trust somebody now. He couldn't trust somebody on the ascent up. He'd been through it on the other end of it, and now he can trust somebody, and that trust then leads to him saying, "I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for AEW at the end. I'm going to give this fucker that burned down the house I plan on having my grandkids live in, grow up in. I'm going to give him the chain to choke out that I once used to choke the fuck out of him. I'm going to give it to him to give it to choke out Moxley." Like I thought
This terrorist.
this great storytelling, man.
We gonna get to it, but yeah, I thought this was great, man. Super fucking match. So proud of him. I said this nigga Swerve all caps message before the show or whatever, just like one of them game day messages, like show these niggas who the fuck, like the Michael Irvin style joints. So
Not quite Michael Irvin. Not quite Michael Irvin.
yeah,
You gotta relax. Gotta relax. Right, I know there were times when I wasn't around Rich, but was he out here getting down like Michael Irvin to cut that promo?
but
Like, go out there and show him. Go out there and show him what you made of. You gotta relax, Rich. You gotta relax.
so we got the Casino